Our homework was on page 456. We had 13 through 53 odd. Questions? I can't hear you. There's too much talking and distraction going on, Brandon. What'd you say? Our homework last night. Anybody have a question? 33. We'll start with that one first then. 33 said 3q minus 5r squared, correct? Because it's minus, I'm going to use the formula a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So you're going to take the first term and square it. So you're going to have 3 cubed squared minus 2 times the first term times the second term plus you're going to take the second term and square it. So now you're going to go through and do the math. So you're going to have 3 cubed squared. So that means 3 is squared, which makes that 9. Q is squared, which is just q squared. Minus, now you're going to multiply all your coefficients. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. QR. Plus, you got to square this. So that means 5 squared is 25. And r squared. And there's nothing you can add or subtract. Okay, anybody have a question on 33? Alright, let's 21. Alright, it was asking you with that Punnett square to basically on A, your equation was capital T plus little t, and that was what it was for both. Okay, and I kind of hate doing this because there's so many t's and pluses in there, okay? So once your equation there is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So when you do this, this is capital T squared plus 2 capital T little t plus little t squared. Okay. Now, what they were basically saying is, in B, what part of t squared, now, when they say t squared, does everybody agree that that means capital T, capital T? Okay, so when you look back at the little square, t squared and capital T are the same thing. Okay? So they're actually asking you, what part does this make up out of that polynomial? Okay? Well, there's one part here. I have 2 of these, and I have 1 more. So technically, there's 4 pieces, right? Still a 3-term polynomial, but there's 4 pieces. So this only makes up 25%. So capital T little t takes up how much? 50%. And then t little t squared, or tt, makes up 25%. So you could have looked at it from the equation, or you could have went back to the Punnett square and determined that the percentage was only 25% or 50%. Okay? Any question on that one? More questions? More questions? 49. Okay. 49 said C plus D times C plus D times C plus D, correct? Alright, well, you could group any 2 together. Well, if I do the first 2, is that not C plus D squared? Okay, so that means then I'm going to have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So as I'm going to do is first term squared plus 2ab plus b squared. That's what I get when I multiply these 2 together, right? Well, I've still got to multiply c plus d. So now at this point, I need to go through and just distribute. So c squared times c is, okay, and c squared times d is c squared d. So now I've taken c squared and multiplied by both of those, correct? Now I'm going to take the second term, 2cd, and multiply it by c, and what do I get? Okay. Now I'm going to take 2cd and multiply it by d, so I get, okay. Now I've multiplied that by both. Now I'm going to take my d squared and multiply by both, so what do I get? There you go, put it in our ABC order, plus d cubed. Now I need to go through and see if I can add anything. This one is the only cubed with my c, so he stays the same. Here I have two terms, so I have 1c squared d plus 2c squared d, which gives me a total of 3c squared d plus, these two are the same, so if I add those I get, and I only have 1d cubed, so there's my answer. Okay. 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 Alright. Do you see where I mean, okay. Alright. Other questions? 53. Said n minus p squared times n plus p. Well, we're going to do this one first. We know my equation is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So at this point then I'm going to have n squared minus 2np plus p squared, correct? Off the first one. And now I'm going to do what I just did. I'm going to distribute everything. So n squared times n is n cubed plus what? N square p. Okay, next. Okay, next. Okay, next. NP, there you go. Plus. Okay, anything I can add together? Yes, so I get n cubed okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. It's a little harder when you have just all variables. Okay? Because you start trying to challenge yourself. Am I doing it wrong? Am I leaving something out? It's the same thing though, okay? Alright, Lindsay, you had a question? 43? Okay. 43 was 2m plus 3, 2m minus 3, and m plus 4, correct? Okay, what do I notice about these two? They're the difference of squares, so that means a squared minus b squared, correct? So my first term squared, so 2m squared minus my second term squared. Now, you may want to put that in parentheses because I need to clean that up before I can multiply it by m plus 4. Okay? So here I get 4m squared minus 9. Correct? Now I can use FOIL. First terms to multiply together gives me, outside terms gives me 16m squared. Inside terms, and last terms. Can I add anything? No, In this case, I can't because here's an M3, M2, M, and nothing. Okay? Questions? Nobody? Okay.